Greetings everyone and welcome to Coffee Black, where the Voyager adventures continue on YouTube. I'm your host, Captain G, and this is the channel where you get your refill of everything Star Trek Voyager related, from trivia, news, reviews, and more. So before I talk about today's topic, I'd like to encourage new viewers to subscribe to the channel, also check us out on X, formerly known as Twitter, and visit our Facebook page for more Voyager content. This video will be my breakdown for Star Trek Prodigy Season 2, Episode 8, Is There in Beauty No Truth? Computer Access File, Episode 8, Alpha, and Enhanced View Screen. So the first Easter egg of this episode begins with the episode title, Is There in Beauty No Truth? A reference to the original series episode of a similar title that first introduced Zero's race, the Medusans. The episode begins with Zero giving a personal log accounting for their search to find Chakotay and the Protostar. Jankum attempts to rebuild some of Zero's missing limbs but lacks the proper equipment to do so, so Zero ends up tumbling to the floor. Later on, Zero is telepathically contacted by a Medusan who lives on a non-corporeal colony, made up of Paxans, Medusans, and Calamarians. Both Paxans and Calamarians appeared in the episodes of TNG. Zero tells the cadets that they claim they can help Zero replace their suit if they come to their colony. The cadets all agree that they should help Zero, so they travel to the planet. The planet appears to be very similar to Earth, but has rings surrounding it. The cadets land on the planet and are seen wearing protective eye gear. This is the same eye gear Spock wore in the original series episode I mentioned at the beginning of the video. To their surprise, the Medusans have actual biological bodies, rendering the eye protection unnecessary. The leader, known as Ion, welcomes them to Avidia 4 and invites the cadets to the festival called the Feast of the Senses. Apparently, the Medusans use these bodies so they can feel all the senses and emotions that come with them. They even humorously sniff Jankum's armpits to experience his pungent odor. The cadets are escorted to a structure that contains pods and a model of the planet. The Medusan leader explains that they use the energy from the rings to create biological bodies capable of containing them. This interests Zero, and after some thought and support from the other cadets, Zero agrees to undergo the procedure. The Medusans take Zero and place them in the pod. Meanwhile, back on Voyager, Magellan and the Nova Squadron are playing Parisi Squares on the holodeck with all of the holographic copies minus the Gwen one. This is actually the first time the game has been seen in the entirety of the Star Trek franchise, despite being referenced many times on TNG, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. At the game's end, it's revealed Janeway, the Doctor, and Commander were secretly watching the game at Magellan's request to prove the cadets were acting unusual. The Doctor examines them but can't find anything unusual, and the Commander theorizes that maybe it's a virus or a mind meld gone wrong. The Dal duplicate that has Zero's memories says it's a mystery, and that they love mysteries, and that it reminds them of the Doctor's holo novels. The Doctor proceeds to ask which one, listing a couple before referencing his novel about Rodrigo, a hologram who duplicates himself. The Doctor then stops himself, realizing another possibility. Janeway tells the computer to turn off all holo emitters in the holodeck except for the Doctor, and the holo cadets disappear. The Doctor is beside himself, saying that he's been betrayed by his own brilliant storylines. The Commander says their life signs aren't aboard the ship, and Gwen's hologram life sign disappeared 2 days earlier. The Commander also theorizes that the cadets may have taken the Infinity. Janeway orders them to return to the Blue Sun and search for the Infinity's warp trail, and to track down the missing Gwen hologram. Back on Avidia 4, Zero awakens in their new body and experiences touch and other senses for the first time. The cadets visit Zero and marvel at their new body before sharing a group hug. Everyone leaves and goes to the Feast of the Senses. Zero feels their belly grumble and experiences eating for the first time and proceeds to try everything in sight before stuffing themselves and letting out a massive burp. Other Medusans invite Zero to dance, and Jankum encourages Rock to dance as well. Meanwhile, Dal and Gwen share a meal while watching their friends dance. The Medusan leader, Ion, checks in on them and when asked, she explains that the flower bands that are being worn are in preparation for the running of the Namazon, a celebration of the forgotten sense. Dal is confused and asks what sense that is, and Ion clarifies that it's fear. Ion also reveals that the participants who survive will feel the most alive having experienced fear, and since their bodies will not deteriorate if they leave Ovidia 4, no one chooses to leave. All these details were conveniently left out and never mentioned to Zero. Dal and Gwen rush to warn Zero but can't find them. Elsewhere, Zero has a flower headband around their head and is preparing for the race, unaware of the danger. Dal and the others eventually find Zero and chases them through the race. The participants toss flowers in the air, baiting the monstrous sky creature, the Nazamon, to swoop down from the sky to eat the flowers. After almost being scooped up, Dal reveals to Zero the information Ion had withheld. While discussing the information, Dal is accidentally swallowed by the Nazamon, and Zero hops on the creature to rescue him. As they both climb their way out, Zero and Dal find themselves flying above the clouds. Meanwhile, back on the ground, the cadets toss more flowers in the air to bait the creature, and as it dives, Dal and Zero land on the ground. Zero and the cadets finish the race, and even though Zero is slightly tempted, they decide to remain loyal to their friends and continue on the mission, even if it means eventually losing their brand new body. Meanwhile, on Voyager, the Gwen hologram is reconstructed by the Doctor. The Doctor also reveals that 8 minutes is missing from the Voyager logs. The command crew and Magella attempt to debrief her, and she reveals that the cadets believed they were receiving messages from Chakotay. The command crew asks about the missing 8 minutes from the logs, but the hologram is unable to explain. She becomes frantic, and the Doctor shuts down her program. And there we are. That is the complete breakdown for Episode 8. Easter eggs included. This episode was amazing. I loved the deep dive into Medusan culture and the Easter eggs from the original series. This episode was a bit of a side quest, but I think the changes to Zero will definitely have an effect on future episodes, so I'm willing to overlook that. I'm going to go ahead and give this episode a rating of 8 coffees out of 10. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please hit the like button to support the channel, and I will see you in the next episode breakdown video. Everyone take care, live long and prosper.